What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. My name's Nicole and I'm a person in recovery. My sobriety date is July 13th of 2015. So you guys asked for it, so I'm going to give it to you. Y'all want to know about my experience in prison, so I'm going to share a little bit of that with you guys today. I have a really freaking funny story that I'm going to tell y'all that I think you guys will either die laughing or be like, holy shit. So, for those of you guys that don't know, I went to prison in 2009 in RPF, which is a regional punishment facility in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. I don't even know if the prison is still open, but it was back then. The kind of prison I went to was a minimum security prison. So, there was no violent offenders there, nobody that killed anybody. It was just kind of chill, you know? Now, I want to explain to you how this prison operated. So, it was completely ran by the inmates, okay? We had guards, of course, that supervised us, but everything on that compound was done by us. Food, laundry, construction work, mowing the lawn, everything. Plumbing, everything. They would train girls to do these things, and then those would be our jobs that we worked. So when I got on the compound in 2009, I'll never forget it, you guys. It was cold. It was cold outside. It was around December or January when I hit the compound. And I remember when I got there, they were getting me dressed out. So I had to go in, and I was scared, first of all, because I had never been really locked up before, like county jail, and then I spent those 60 to 90 days in county jail before I went to prison. So they had me get naked, completely naked. They had me bend over, pull my butt cheeks apart, and cough, squat and cough. Then they even had me raise my leg up so they could see inside of me. It was really fucking demoralizing. It was just it was the worst feeling. After that, they had me get in the shower between two big giant girls, and they put this powder stuff on us that was supposed to get lice to go away. And they did that, and then we had to take a cold shower after that, and then we dressed out in yellow. And so our uniforms were like pale yellow scrubs. And then I hit the compound. I went into the hole. So when you first get there, I guess while they're processing you in and stuff, they put you in the hole. And you have to stay there for 3 days because they're making sure that you can be on the compound with other inmates, that you're not mentally unstable, that you're not sick, all that kind of stuff. And so I was in the hole with this girl named Nikki. And I was already nervous enough, so we stayed up all night long just telling each other stories about how we had gotten to where we were at. After the 3 days, I went into the orientation unit, and that's when I was assigned my job, which was CWC, compound work crew, which is everything, hoeing, mowing, all that hard stuff. And I was just like, son of a gun, you know? But I went out there and I started doing it. I was mowing the lawn one day, and I remember one of the guards seen me out there working my ass off, and she said, hey, you, come here. I said, what's up? She said, I like you. I want you to work in laundry. And so she took me down the laundry, and that was it. I never had to go back to CWC again. I got a work transfer into laundry, and that was where I belonged, you guys. I was so comfortable down there. I had 12 other girls that were down there with me, and we did laundry from 2 a.m. until 12 noon every single day. I remember laying in my bunk, and I was on the top bunk, and the girl that laid below me, she had staph infection all over her belly, you guys. And I remember laying on my bunk and thinking, this is it. I am not getting out of here. It was like reality had just slapped me in the face. You are in prison, and this is how it's going to be. I remember laying there and praying and telling God that I was never going to get high again and that I was going to change my life. And I really meant that, you guys. I really, really meant that. So I was working on in laundry and doing my thing, eating good because all the inmates cooked the food, y'all. When I tell you that the food, we ate so good. I can't even complain about it. It was really, really good. And I was really skinny when I got there, so I gained a whole bunch of weight. But I made friends really quickly. Like, I met a couple of girls from my hometown, and we kind of like all buddied up with each other and just helped each other through the whole process, you know? We supported each other. We were just each other's friends. Now, there was a lot of girls that were in there hooking up with each other, and that's what I'm going to tell you guys. So there was this one group of girls. They were so messy, and they would hook up with everybody. Like, one of them would break up with one, and then the other one would break up, and then they would just all be hooking up. Well, one night, one of the girls had gotten a cucumber from the cafeteria. Don't ask me how this bitch knew they had cucumbers. They had cucumbers for something. And she had a latex glove. And she put that latex glove on that cucumber and was using it as a dildo. Having her friends watch so she could with her girlfriend. And they would hold up a sheet around the bunks and watch for the guard, because there would only be one guard in that unit, and there would be like 60 or 70 of us girls in a unit. And you got to understand, before we had to hit our racks at lights out, we were all taking showers, we were going to the bathroom, we were cooking food, we were just walking around, right? And so what the guard would normally do was sit at this desk inside of our unit, because it was separate units all over the prison with 60 or 70 girls in each unit, maybe 100. And so he would just be chilling there, like doing his nightly audits or whatever he had to do, and we would be scandalous, you know? And so I remember the first time I saw something like that, I was just like, oh, hell no. Well, this one girl, they had told me about this one girl. They said, don't ever go in the shower when she goes in the shower. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, just don't go in the shower when she goes in the shower. And because of this bitch got to go in the shower every day by herself and have privacy. And I just didn't like that. That was fucked up, because I had to shower with 6 other bitches every time I went into the shower. And so one night she was in there, and I said, man, fuck this. I'm going to take a shower. Like, I'm not gonna wait on her. And so I went in and I looked over. I came around the corner and I looked over, and she had her leg hiked up on that wall, and she was just flicking her bean, going ding 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 ding. And she looked back at me as she was just dun 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 dun. And I looked at her and I was like, oh, hell no. Hell no. You mean to tell me that you're up in here getting your rocks off and everybody just allows you to do it while we could all be showering? I was like, girl, you're going to have to do better than that. You're going to have to stop that. I'm coming in. I'm getting in the shower. Like, I'm not going to, like, give you your peace and quiet. Like, this is ridiculous. You don't run the show. And she pulled her leg down and was laughing and cackling, and she was like kind of crazy. And she got out of the shower and left, and I was just like, you know what I mean? Like, that was the kind of stuff, like, maybe she was, like, mentally ill or something. I don't know. But she was going at it, and she had no shame in her game. And so I was just like, get out of here. I'm taking a shower. You know what I mean? But I will never forget that. I remember this girl's name. I won't say it here because she might see this one day. Who knows, you know? But I even remember the girl's name, and she was just so nasty, freaky, weird girl. And so that was one of the craziest things I've seen in prison. I've seen girls break out in fights in the cafeteria, always over another girl, always fighting with each other about girlfriends. I never got into any relationships when I was in prison, straight up. I've hooked up with women outside of prison, but when I got to prison, that was the last thing on my mind, you guys. I mean, like, it was just like an experience that I never want to have to repeat. Losing your freedom, having to listen to somebody to tell you what to do, whether you can go to the bathroom, whether you can leave, whether you can, anything, you have to be told to do it. You have to get in line, to hurry up, to wait the whole time. There was a point where we all got put on a tight house, which means that we were all on punishment, right? And so what they would do is they would have us stay up for 24 to 48 hours with a toothbrush. And we had to scrub the walls and the floors with these toothbrushes. All the girls on the compound. There was like 300 to 600 girls on that compound. And we were all on tight house, cleaning every single little thing with toothbrushes. They would make us stay up for so long and not be able to lay down or sit down. It was punishment on purpose. They would have you lean against the wall, bend your legs and sit on nothing and hold yourself like that until you damn near collapse because your legs would just be shaking so hard. That was a punishment. Okay, this place was like no joke. They wanted to torture us, you know what I mean? I would have rather just go in the hole, but instead they got us scrubbing shit with fucking toothbrushes and shit. But I did a year there, a little bit under a year, I think. But shit, it was long enough for me, you guys. I never want to go back to prison again. Um, and the reason why I went there, I don't know if any of you guys know this, but a lot of y'all are new to my channel. The reason I went to prison was because I got caught with methamphetamine. I was riding in the passenger seat of my own car, and this guy was driving it, and we had just gotten done getting a bunch of dope. I had dope on me, he had dope on him, and we got set up by a confidential informant. And when they got us, of course, thank God they didn't charge me with what he had. He had a whole bunch on him, and I only had my own personal syringe with some in it. And so I got charged with a Class C felony, possession of a controlled substance. Now, I did get put on probation, but what had happened was I was on probation and I kept failing my drug tests. I kept relapsing. They gave me a chance to go to treatment. I came back and I relapsed. And so they had to violate my probation and send me to prison. So, if you have any more questions or you want to know anything else about my life or my story, just comment down below. I love you guys, and I'll see y'all Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time.